come your way again for another beautiful edition of True Talk. I am here with my beautiful sisters who always keep it real, who always say it as it is. It is True Talk. We don't paint it. We don't want to cover it at all. We say it to you as it is. We believe from the responses we've been getting so far, many of you are getting blessed and you're learning from this program. True Talk is brought to you courtesy of Mend Fences and Christ Victory Life Church South Africa. With me today again is my women president, Sister Tandy. We call her the VVIP. She's a very, very important person. So big but yet so humble. A very good instrument in God's hands. Another beautiful daughter of mine, our accountant, tutor, mentor, Naomi Kinkela. She's also here. And my beautiful daughter, I'm a very proud mother because of daughters like her, Hannah Davids. Thank you all for coming. God bless you once again. The topic before us today is a very interesting one. Not only is it interesting, it is something that many people want to shy away from. People want to hide from it. Who want to talk about it, but it is a vice in our society that we cannot run away from. We are talking about domestic violence today. And this is going to be like the part one of it. We cannot exhaust the topic in one show, so we're going to come back again and do a second part of it. Please share this video, subscribe, like, tell your friends about this. You could be saving a life just by watching this video. Yeah, so today we're talking about domestic violence. Like we said, we'll try to define what domestic violence is all about. We'll try to talk about why the types we have in the society and some of the causes of domestic violence. So we'll begin with a definition, and they have given me the honors of defining what domestic violence is. I will begin by saying that it's any violent or aggressive behavior in a home. Any violent or aggressive behavior in the home. But it goes beyond that. It goes beyond that because it goes beyond the physical or the aggression to what we call the manipulative attitude in a home. Okay. It is also a way of controlling people, controlling others, either manipulating them through words, manipulating them through violence, manipulating them in whatever way, just to control them, either to be a coward or to become fearful, or to get whatever it is you want from them. The marriage, the relationship, the partnership of a man and a woman was created by God for companionship, for love, right? For peace, for joy, for procreation, for everything that is good. So when it becomes a place where we're talking about violence, we're talking about fear, we're talking about someone being intimidated, it is no longer good. All right. So this violence can be between a spouse, a husband and a wife, a boyfriend and a girlfriend. That's one that used to shock me most. Yes, I think that's the word. It's annoying. Then it can also be a parent to a child. Yes. Some parents are abusive to their children. Okay, so we're just going to generally talk about the domestic. So when we say domestic, we're talking about the house. The violence that happens around the house. Have I defined it well? Thank you. Okay, so let's try to talk about some types of this domestic violence, so as to make our audience understand, what we're talking about. Statandi.
Yes, we can start with physical abuse, whereby you are fighting each other. There's a boxing ring in the house. And then there's verbal or emotional abuse, whereby one is saying hurtful things to the other, making the other person feel unworthy. And unfortunately, if it's a mother and a father treating each other like that, and they are children, it leads to children that are going to take that behavior to school. They won't be happy. They will be moody kids, and there will be bullies at school, and there will be bully parents or abusers to their partners and all that. So, yeah, let me say these two.
Okay. Yeah. So types that you know.
Yeah, there's got a lot as well. I think Mama mentioned, but in terms of relationship, like girlfriends and boyfriends, the boyfriend, hitting the girlfriend, others manipulating them into sexual activities.
Yes.
Even at home, like, married couples as well. You get like husbands that are very manipulative and will force the woman into,
Okay. Sister Naomi, I want to ask you a question.
Yes,
based on what you just said now. Because people always ask this question.
Yeah.
Is there anything like rape between a husband and a wife?
I believe so, yes.
Definitely.
As long as you're being forced into sex, it's rape. Whether it's your husband or your wife. I know in African cultures, we pay, bride price. That does not give you the right to force your way to the woman. If she says no, no. No is no. You cannot force her into it. So if you do that, whether you have paid $1 million US dollars bride price, you don't have the right. You're still a criminal.
Weird.
Not every
I like
day.
the word.
Not every
Criminal.
day this sex thing.
Not every day force.
That sex part is actually a part of abuse.
Sexual abuse.
Not just that, but all those people that have their own fantasy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it annoys me because I feel like before you get married, these are things you should talk about. Now you didn't talk about it and you just come up one day and say, I think I like it when you flog me with... No, you can't do that. Yeah. You can't be changing things. This is a contract. Let's stick to it. You can't be changing things in between, So I that one annoys me because sex is meant to be a beautiful thing. God created sex for us to enjoy ourselves and procreate. But when you're now changing it for it to just please only you, and I don't know how that's pleasing for you to be causing pain to someone else. Or like there was one I saw one time, the man was asking his wife to eat his poop. I know. Let's just let's don't think about it. But that is the highest form of abuse to me.
So making a woman do anything sexual that she doesn't want to do. Or even making a man do anything.
Yeah, we're forgetting the man.
Because yes. Let's talk about the fact that a lot of men are in abusive relationships.
Yeah, they die in silence.
Yes. Their ego will not allow them come out to say, this woman is abusing me. But I have seen women who abuse men. And a particular lady one time that slapped the husband. Husband was talking to her and then she slapped the man. And then the man came to pastor to report that the woman slapped him. And then the woman was like, hey, I want him to be a man. He's too dull.
Child.
What? Why did she marry him?
If he had slapped her back, she would have felt some form of... Because she's been abusing him, she's been insulting him. This man is gentle, he keeps quiet, he doesn't want problem, and so she's feeling like he's too dull.
You see, that kind of woman needs deliverance. Are you serious?
No, the thing is, African women have got this mentality, like some of them, I don't know where it comes from, they believe like it's good for a man to hit you once in a while. To beat you once in a while.
Yes.
Not only here, like everywhere. Even in Congo.
I've never heard of
they like it. They want to have some sort of beating. They feel good.
I've actually heard some African men say that, once in a while, you need to correct a woman by beating her. But listen to me, and I'm talking to you as someone who has gone through it. If you hit a woman, you make her more stubborn. She's not going to be more submissive. She's going to take the slap the first time. She's going to take the slap the second time. She might take it the third time. But you see, by the time you get to the fourth time, she begins to develop a tough skin. And then one of these days, she's going to stab you.
Hey.
Oh.
Unfortunately, a lot of stories, especially back home, maybe not as common with women, but back home, in my country, a lot of women they are fed up. They are fed up, they are overreacting. So when the man slapped them, they return it with a stab. Yeah. A lot of them are in jail. In fact, they just sentenced one very good woman I used to know. They just sentenced her to jail for killing her husband.
Oh my God.
But what surprises me is that how can you, if you are a man, abusing your wife? I don't know what's going on in your mind.
I think they don't understand that they're abusing the wife.
Okay.
Yeah,
They should know who they are.
We're going to come to some of the causes, and then you understand better why some people do it. So we've established that we have physical abuse, there's sexual abuse, there's psychological abuse, and that includes gaslighting and emotional abuse. Do you know the meaning of gaslighting? One of my research, and I have this in a small pamphlet, when the women called me for a conference in Nigeria to come and speak about this domestic violence thing. It was in the course of that research I came across the word gaslighting.
Okay.
And I'm like, I've never heard this one before. What type is this? A man or a woman would intentionally make their partner look like they are going crazy.
Okay. They look like a psychopath or something.
Yes, make their partner feel, tell the world, everybody begin to look at the woman or the man as somebody who is not okay. So even if you come out and say, I am going through this, because he has already given the impression, or she has already given the impression that you are not well upstairs, nobody will believe you.
That's the worst type of abuse.
Yeah.
That's the worst type.
I met a woman of recent, and she was telling me, my husband sleeps with all my house helps. My husband sleeps with all my house helps. And then I went, as a pastor, I cautioned the man, like, what's going on? The man said, me, never. That's never happened.
Crazy.
Yes. Say that woman has been sick. She has been sick for long. She takes a lot of medication. And then from the research, we discovered those medication messes with the person's brain. That, you know, the woman is not well. Those medication has affected her. So I said to this woman, I said, okay, now we've gone beyond accusation. We need to get proof. So he tried it with the next house help, and we told the girl, agree. The moment he started asking the girl out, we told the girl, agree. The girl agreed. He fixed a time when he's going to take the girl to a hotel. The girl told the mama, the hotel and every place where they would be. And then 4 women showed up in the hotel. They took pictures of him and everything. And then this woman now came back to all the family members and everybody that this guy has been telling, you know, that, oh, the drugs have gone into her head and she's going crazy. You know, she came back and presented pictures, and now I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because you've been caught, you're sorry. But if we had not cancelled the woman to have gone to that extent, we would have continued to believe that, oh, this woman is just a troublemaker, she's going gaga, she's gone bonkers. So that's it's wide.
It's very wide.
The different types, very, very wide. Oh, if you love me, you will sleep with me. It's blackmail.
Yeah.
It's manipulation. If you're dating someone, you're not ready to have sex with them yet. They should never have to make you do it. You must show your love to me. No. Since when did sex become love?
My boyfriend in high school said I must kiss him to show love.
So they do all of those emotional blackmail. Maybe a lady has the money. She's okay. Let me not start talking about the causes yet. We'll go there. But we've tried to explain. There was a statistics I also saw online. That shocked me. 2019, in 1 year, 1.6 million women aged between 16 to 74 years suffered abuse. Some form of abuse. Only women. And these are the cases that were reported.
What about those that were
the ones that are not?
And they're probably
because there are a whole lot of women who are going through. I remember when mine started, I was too ashamed to tell anyone. You know, I'm a pastor's daughter. I was brought up in a godly home. Me and my husband are Christians. We are believers. How can I even go and tell somebody my husband slapped me? In fact, one of the days, my father saw me with a black eye. And then he asked me what happened to me. I lied.
He fell down.
No, I said it was the cupboard. That I was opening my wardrobe and then the other part of the wardrobe hit my face. Because I could not bring myself to even say it. Listen to me. One of the worst things you can do to yourself is to keep quiet.
Speak up.
Because it's going to continue. Okay, let's talk about some of the causes. Before we begin to talk about solutions and what you need to do, let's talk about the causes. What are some of the things that causes this abuse. And let's merge these causes with signs. Remember, like we're saying now, some people might not even know that this is abuse, especially the psychological ones.
Yeah.
They do it softly. When it begins to speak down on you, talk down on you, make you feel worthless, like you don't know how to do nothing, you know. And a particular lady that's telling me currently, that's my problem with my husband. Everything is wrong in his eyes. Everything I do is bad. As long as I'm the one doing it. If someone else comes and does that same thing, my husband will praise it.
Yeah.
But once I am the one doing it, oh, you did not do it well. Is this how to do this? You don't know how to dress. You look ugly. You are fat. You are this. Once you begin to hear those kind of languages, for me, that's already a sign something is wrong. Because I mean, even if you are adding weight, there's a way to say it.
Yeah.
If as a husband, you want your wife to lose weight,
Let's work out together.
let's work out together.
Yeah.
If as a woman, you want your husband's big tummy to
become six pack.
to become, you know, there's a way to work with him and, you know, plan with him, exercise, change his diet, help him to lose the instead of always making him feel like, hey, are you 9 months pregnant? Yeah, you look fat. I like all those men. And then, you know, we women, we are very stylish about it. You now wait until the day you see one actor on the TV that is looking very handsome. Hey, I wish my husband was this hot. And then you're making the man feel bad. Emotionally gets into his head. He feels he's not enough. She begins to feel she's not enough. So what are some of the signs? What are some of the causes? Let's talk about them.
I think from when you start dating someone, let's start there because that's where it starts from.
Yes, right.
Like you said, Mama, if this person starts giving you some bad vibes, you know, let me say it in a youthful way, some bad vibes. You know, bad vibes in the sense that you do something small and you exaggerate it as if you killed someone.
Yeah.
But it's something small I did now. Let's talk about it or something. And it's like, no, I don't want to talk about it. Or it's vetting. But at that time, anger issues. You need to start. Or when they are angry. I've been in a relationship where when the guy was angry, he will punch wall. I say, hey, there won't be wall. You mean when there's no wall? So I think those little things we should be watching it. If he's angry, he kicks something, he punch wall, all those things, or he abuse you with words. You should start watching it from there. By that time, if it's something you cannot fix, that is why it's important for me. It is important to always have someone you talk to. Mama in church, someone that you know that the person has sense,
A mentor.
and the person is in line with the word of God as well. Because there are some people that will tell you, just stay, you safe. What did you do? It's because of the way you spoke to him. There are different ways of this thing. So there are little things like that. You should just please I cannot handle this.
Take it, yes.
I feel for me that's it, based on my experience.
You're very correct.
Right.
You're very
Cannot.
correct. You're very correct. Yeah, some of the causes now.
Yeah, there are quite a lot. I'm even thinking of what you're trying to bring now. Another cause is, just like she also said, I think early signs. Some people that are brought up in an abusive home. So it's become, not like it's normal, like they like it. They might not like it. But because, you know, a child does what they see. So they grow up with that. It sort of becomes normal. You know, my father used to beat my mother. So now, you know, I've had an experience with this. One of my sister's friend, she was married. She also divorced. The husband used to beat her up for no reason. Like, you even go when they're drinking with his friends, you say, today I'm going to drink because this lady is going to feel me today. The friends will be like, what is this? He's just drinking so that, you know, you can have that courage to beat up the wife.
Wow.
And then because the lady, she's very calm. She's a very calm person. The guy will abuse and insult and she will never says anything. And that would anger the guy. Why are you not answering me? Why are you not answering me? It's like, oh, you think you'll be happy while my mother used to cry all the time. And he would say continuously. He said, how can you be?
So why would you be happy?
How can you be happy in your marriage while my mother used to
She
cry?
be punished for what she never knew.
My goodness.
Oh, and you say it continuously and continuously. This woman, she said, She went to her auntie because she was brought up by her aunt. Aunt, I'm going to die in this house. Auntie says, go and, you know, African and Christian, you know, pray. I thought your husband is going to come around and just, you know, be a good woman if you are good and what. She's a very calm person. She doesn't insult her husband. She doesn't answer. She doesn't anything. She's a very calm person. So there's no way she's even caused anything. The guy will always continuously tell her that, why should you be happy? So if everything is fine, she just says, no, get out of my house. And you even wait for the time where to chase her. Like, it has to be dark. Maybe around 10 or 11.
That's the time drunkards come home.
He says, leave my house. Go and leave the child. And the child will be crying. Because they had a child, the child will be crying. Say, go. You just wait for that time where you know that she can't walk anywhere alone. So she'll chase out of the house without clothes, without anything. And sometimes she say, no, you must sleep on the floor. And you wait for winter. It must be winter time. Sleep on the floor and then take all the blankets. You know, she'll use that African wrapper, right? To cover herself. You put water on the wrapper. And she's sleeping on the floor on winter time.
That's just pure wickedness.
So for like this guy, he grew up in a home like that. His mother was abused, like abused. He was angry. He grew up with that anger that my mother was abused.
That is the major challenge that we have with men who abuse women and women who abuse men. It always begins with a family root, unfortunately. Unfortunately, this is why, if it's possible, please, as a man, don't ever do it. As a woman, don't ever do it. I always say that my fear is always the repercussion for our children. You can't take it away from them. That emotional. What you know, I met a guy one time who said to me, "A woman can never shout at me. My mom used to shout at my father. She bossed him around. She controlled him. A woman will never control me. I'll never be in a relationship where a woman will control me." Coming into a relationship already, the day the woman will just say one thing,
It's as if she's controlling you.
he's going to overreact. He's going to conclude, oh, she wants to control me. She wants to make me feel like my father felt worthless before my mom. So we must be very conscious of it. In fact, scientifically proven, statistically, 90% of men who beat their wives come from home where their fathers beat their mothers.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. 90%, apart from those who just pick it up as a habit on the streets. 90% of men who are doing it because they saw their father doing it, they saw their mother doing it, and they feel that is how relationship should be. You know, I like the fact that Hannah started from relationship. You're cutting a bro, he's already slapping you.
I know.
And you are still dead your way. Well,
begging and
sister,
marriage.
What will I used to call you now? I'm begging you in the name of Almighty God. Run. 1 million broken relationship is better than one broken marriage.
Yes. True.
Don't wait until they kill you. Don't wait until they set fire on you. Don't wait until they chop into pieces and put you inside the dustbin bag. We will still come to those who are married because that is a little more complicated. But for you, I remember a lady told me, "Hey, Mama, I can't marry this bro." And me, I saw two of them as a very fantastic pair. At the point, I felt the lady was rude or proud. So I called her, come and see me. She came to me. Come, what's wrong with you? Don't you want to marry? We have been praying. God has brought a bro. And then she said, Mama. I'm like, what happened? He said, I went to his shop. This guy has a shop. I went to his shop and then he had a problem with his neighbor. Another fellow guy who is selling on the same line with him. And then while I was sitting down there, I heard them raising voices. So I came out and I said, calm down, you know, like trying to calm my guy down. So my guy got angry, came back into the shop to meet me and told me that in my life,
hey, signs.
And then when I was trying to say, no, what did I say? And I was just trying to calm you, bam, he gave me a good slap. So that was the day I decided, Mama, I will not marry him. I said, my darling, God bless you for that decision. God bless you. You're a blessed daughter. I'm proud of you. Please go home. God will bring your husband. Your husband has a Today she's married. She has her own child. she's at peace. That guy is not your last bus stop.
At all.
That lady is not your last bus stop. Stop deceiving yourself. If I break out of this relationship, maybe I won't get someone else. No. If it is not perfect, if it is not good, it's not of God.
Yes.
Every good and perfect gift, the Bible says, comes from the Lord.
Yes.
If he's going to be kicking you, he's going to be slapping you, even if he's buying you car. Because that's another problem some ladies have.
Oh, that's another cause.
After slapping you, he will go and buy gifts. Buy you jewelries.
Hey.
He bring money.
Flowers.
So you smile. Please, did that flower remove the pain of the slap?
Oh.
Did it remove the broken hand?
Did it remove the future?
Did it remove the broken leg?
debts that you're playing with?
You are playing with death. You are playing with death. And the car cannot save your life.
Yes, so.
The jewelries cannot save your life. Whatever the gift, whatever it is paying my rent. It doesn't mean he owns you.
No.
You're dealing with a jealous lover. She says it's because he loves me now.
That one's another one.
I think we're going to continue this topic
That
next
one,
week.
no.
If we come into this, we will not finish it now. Jealous lovers,
They can kill you.
They say, but if you don't love, if you love someone, you must be jealous about them.
Yes.
There's a limit.
Oh, don't be
You are
obsessed.
dating someone, but you cannot say hello to another person.
Yes.
You're dating someone, you cannot have a male colleague who calls you and say, hello, how are you? Who called you?
Why is
Let
it
me see your phone. Why did they call you?
breaks
Bring
the
that phone. Oh,
And
break the
next
phone.
thing,
After all, he bought it.
Hey,
He
and buy
breaks,
you a new phone.
he breaks the phone. After all, I bought the phone now.
And you buy you a new phone to show
When you are
can
sleeping,
afford.
let me tell you, women who do it is abuse. Your husband is sleeping. You gotta carry his hand and come and put on.
I saw it
So that you can. It's abuse. What are you looking for? Yes.
Hey.
What are you looking for?
No, I don't do it, but I'm just saying.
You don't need it. There should be trust in a relationship.
Yes.
You should trust your wife that as she goes out, she where she says she's going to is
going
where
there.
she's going to.
True.
You should trust your boyfriend should trust your girlfriend. Whatever the relationship is, trust your children. Don't be nosy around everybody. And then they say, oh, it's because you love them. That's not love. You don't have to be obsessed with that person.
Yeah.
Who did you call yesterday? In fact, you went out to come. You stayed up 2 hours later. Bring your pants.
Mama, let me even.
That is the one I heard of recent.
Mama,
Bring
this
your
one.
pants.
You see the same lady I was talking about? The same story I was talking about right now. This lady, when she goes out, maybe the guy didn't know that she was going out because she was like housewife, ne? The guy will go, maybe she has an emergency and then she comes. The first thing when she enters the house, open your legs. I need to see if somebody entered. Open your legs. She'll open the legs and the guy is putting
He's
fingers
a
in front.
gynecologist.
The same lady.
Welcome, Brother Solomon.
Thank you.
You
so
want
much
to
for
share
that.
with us some of the causes for domestic violence as a man, from the point of view of men. Why do men hit their women?
The problem is it's first biological. As we have information in our DNA. Some of our information is led by our parents, our grandfather, our father, our mother. And the way that our father was treating our mother became as an habit for him and goes straight to his chromosome. And when he gives birth to you, you had that information in you.
Wow.
Without you willing to beat your wife, you beat him without knowing. Without you being how can I say it, willing to do bad things to your husband, you will do it without you knowing, because you have the information of your mother. Your grandmother was treating your grandfather, or your mother was treating your father in the same way. You do the same way, with the same thing without knowing, because you have the information inside of you.
Wow.
And it takes time to notice that you have information from your father, that you have to work on and to reject, to put in new information to your DNA, so that you know how to treat a person. A lot of things we see our father beating our mother, and you didn't like it when your mother was crying when you were a child, but you beat your wife.
Funny enough.
For you, it's normal because it's in your information. The information is in your DNA. You don't want it, but you do it. It's pushing you to do it because for you it's normal. the brain says that it's normal for you because you see it since you were kids, you saw it, your mother was crying, and for you to be a man, you have to beat your wife. That's one of the reasons. And another problem is the love of the opposite sex. Like a boy did not have the love of the mother. He doesn't know how to love a woman. For him, that the wife is just an instrument to make to have children. It's not the person that you have to love because he didn't receive a love from a woman, a feminine sex.
Good one.
That's the problem. As a woman as well, if he did not receive the love from the father, he will not love his husband. The woman who has a higher respect and love for the father, she will respect and love the woman, the husband automatically. It's the same way with the man as well. And if the mother was abusing the man, the boy, he doesn't like that love anymore. For him, I want a woman just to have children, to cook for me, not because I want a love. And see that he doesn't need the love for the woman, he will abuse that person. That's the consequences of that thing. We have to notice, and another reason is religions. Like American research, like if you go to India, there's 70% of women are abused in India. Why? Because for a man it's normal to beat the woman.
Wow.
The woman doesn't have the right to speak, to say something to the man.
I thought in India they said it was women who used to pay groom price.
Yes, but
so after paying to marry a man, the man will be beating you. Father, thank you, I'm not an Indian.
That's the problem.
Wow.
And the greatest country who has domestic violence is South Africa.
Tell me.
The problem is the culture. For many of them, the man knows that I'm the man. I have the right to do everything. That's why if there is laws that South Africa puts to protect women, because the domestic violence was a lot, the rate was so high, they have to protect the woman. Because the woman, you have the second role in the world. It's not even the second role. You are nothing at home. The man is everything. You have to follow what he's saying. You have to respect what he's saying. And when you want to oppose it, what he say, he will beat you.
I always wonder how we got here. Because I don't know. I try to look at history and all. Okay. Like I always say, maybe topic for another day. I read Pastor Macha Shimolo's book, and I've not really finished that book. And then he said, what is wrong with the black man? You come to discover that most of those vices and things we talk about, yes, they happen in the Western world, but they are worse with the black people. We make cultures, we make rules that degrade the woman. We make cultures, we make rules that make a fellow person not feel good about themselves. Why? What do you benefit from making another person feel lower than they should be? You know, I can't phantom it. I can't picture it. When you go to some cultures, and it was even my culture where I come from, you know, in those days, they built the house, then they built the main house, that's the man's house, then the wife's house has to be at the back.
And smaller.
A small house at the back. Until the day the man calls her to the front, she might never enter that big house. She cannot just walk in there. She cannot just come and sit there. In some cultures, you bring water for your husband to eat. You have to hold the water kneeling down until he finish eating. We are not slaves. This is not marriage. It is not God's plan. It's not God's purpose. And I know that some very traditionalist people will not like me right now. But let me tell you the truth. Any tradition, any culture that dehumanizes another person is not good.
Yes.
Period. Yes, I don't care where it's from. I don't care where the root is from. Where your forefathers have been practicing it. You have to change. You have to say no to it. You have to say it will not continue like this. Imagine the rate of people who claim to love their partners that are killing each other. You know, thank God Brother Solomon just mentioned this. South Africa has one of the highest rates in the world. It's almost like a daily news. When you listen to the news, this girl is found dead. With pregnancy. 8 months, hangs on a tree like a goat. Somebody's daughter. I always ask the question, if you have a daughter, would you want her to be treated the same way? If this were your child, forget about the fact that, she says she loves you. So she has left her father and mother to come and stay with you or be with you. If this were your child, would you want your child dead, 8 months pregnant, hanging on a tree? Would you want it for your child? I don't know how we're going to pass this message. I don't know how it's going to get far away, but we need to put an end to this culture of violence. It has to stop. Whether it is Africa, South Africa, Nigeria, any other part of the world.
Or even in Europe.
One thing I know as a solution, which I want to talk about also, is that people need to speak out.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Speak out. Don't dismiss your feelings. At any point in time where you feel unsafe, you understand? You don't feel good about this guy. You're not comfortable around him. He's making you do things you don't want to do. Sweetheart, speak out.
Yeah.
Look for someone to report the matter to. One thing I know about abusers, they don't like to be exposed. They always come out and put up good fronts, you know? So they want to maintain that good face. I'm a family man.
Yes.
I'm a responsibly married man. I have 2 children. I have 3 children. I'm the director in an office. I am the, they like that name. They want to maintain it.
Food in their house.
Yes, they have neglected their children. You have a woman that has kids for you. Even if you are not marrying her anymore, it is your responsibility to take care of your children.
Yeah.
Neglect is a form of abuse.
Yes.
Because you look at the woman, you feel, okay, she doesn't have money, she's not working. Let her go and suffer with these children. Why? Why bring children into the world if you're not going to take care of them? What is her sin? What is her crime? A lot of men, especially in South Africa, you bring a woman from your country here. You get here, you marry another South African. Now you are not the husband of this South African. You are not the husband of this Nigerian woman. You are not a husband to any one of them. You are not taking care of children. You have children this way. You have children that way. Be careful. There is God though.
There is God.
There is God though. Tomorrow you want those children to honor you. You want to be a father in their life. By the time they become president, they become good people tomorrow. You want them and the father. Father is not by name. Mother is not by name.
Yeah.
Neglect is also a form of abuse.
Yes.
Don't neglect your partner. Don't use money that you can afford to punish your partner. Her hair is looking rough. She's looking like Mary Amaka. But you have money.
It's not fair.
You can pay the 150, 200 to make her hair.
Yeah.
Instead of abusing her and telling her, is this how your mates used to look? Take her to a salon and pay for the hair, people. Life is simple. Why do we complicate it?
Mama.
Okay, I think I've talked plenty now.
Mama, sorry,
talk, yes.
before we move to another, I think in Christendom, us as Christians, there are some men that do not understand the part of submission in the Bible.
Yeah, thank you.
That's another course.
A woman is submissive. After all, she's meant to be submissive.
Yeah.
So why is she not doing this? This other woman is doing this, but she's not doing it. That can cause beating it can make you feel like the woman is not respectful. There was one thing we put in our Many Fences group one time, and it said, if a man loves a woman, submission becomes easy.
Yeah.
Natural.
And I never used to think about it, but now that I'm married, it's so like I don't even have to say, I don't have to pretend. It just comes naturally. And I feel in churches we need to explain these things to our men. That submission is not about you saying, I'm the man, you must respect me. If you love that woman, she will respect you easily.
Automatically.
Easily. If she knows that, you need her, when she wants to feed you, she's kneeling down to feed you. If she knows that that's what you like, she will do it. She will do it.
That's the love language.
About it.
Yeah. It will not be a big deal to her. Do you know that, funny enough, what she just mentioned, even in the group, we had women who condemned it. We had women who said, as a child of God, whether he loves you or not, you must submit.
The problem there is, Mama, we don't understand really what the Bible says sometimes. Like Jesus said, the man must love the wife as he loves
the church. Yes, sir.
And if we look the life of Christ, he has done so many things for the church, for the wife. he gave his life for the church, but us, we were not able to do that. You see a man who's, the way he's dressing, he spends money on his dress, but the women and the children, they are not looking nice. That means you are not doing what Christ said for the church, for men to do. That before the man the wife to be submissive to a man, he must love, he must protect the person. How can I be submissive to a person that doesn't protect me, doesn't take care of me, doesn't think about me? I'm like, you are not secure, you can't be submissive, you will be rebellious.
I like that word. I like that word, secure.
Yes.
If there's one thing I know that every woman wants in life, is to be secured in their marriage and in their relationship. You don't give her peace of mind. You're always hassling her. You're always stressing her. You come back and say she's not submissive. In fact, some guys will complain and say, when I married her, she didn't used to talk. But now she talks, she was pretending, she was not pretending. She is now what you have made her into.
She's tired.
Whatever, yes, she's tired, my brother. Whatever you have made her into is what she is right now. What we give to you was the original.
Yeah.
You created a monster out of her. So now you have to either change her back to the original we gave you, or learn to live with your monster. Yeah? Because you see some ladies, they come innocently, fall in love innocently, marry you with all of their heart, come, with the innocence of their heart. And then by the time they come to you, you start feeding them evil, you start beating them, you start neglecting them, you start, both ways, whichever way. A man loves you genuinely, he picks you up. I've seen. In fact, there's one very bad story. The guy dusted this girl. I don't know how to use the word, because God is the only one who lifts someone. But he lifted her. Spent money to train her through school and everything, and he was doing for her, he was doing for her family, and all of that. And then this girl graduated and said the guy was not educated. She is now above his class. And if that man takes a gun and shoot her, they will say the man is bad.
It happens.
Do you see what the kind of things we're talking about? This lady now is calling for wickedness, because that man will be so hot.
Yeah.
If he's not a child of God and he doesn't have the Spirit of God, he will want to do something very bad to you. He's been dating you 5 years, taking you through school, taking care of your parents, taking care of your family. You did not know that he was not your type.
Not educated.
He was not your class. He was not your level. Then the money, his certificate, he uses money to buy for you. It's what you're going to use to insult him. I mean, let us be human. Let's just all try to be human. There's one thing that is the motto of my life. If you have ever received an email from me, it is there. It is my signature. Whatsoever you wish that men will do to you, do so also to them. It's a simple golden rule of life that Jesus gave us.
Yeah.
And it works.
I don't like beating. Me, from time as a child, the video of that child that is saying, "Mommy, calm down." I told them that was me. You want to beat me as a child, you get ready for work. Because I will cry, I will wee on myself, I'll be rolling on the floor. I'm so scared of being flogged. Then why should I wake up and slap my husband?
Yeah.
I'm arguing with him. He's talking, maybe he's even shouting. So I get angry. Then I watch him slap. I am calling for slap now.
Yeah.
There are very, very few men who will take a slap from you and not retaliate. Holy Ghost. There are very few men who will be able to take it. So whatever you know you will not take, don't dish it out.
Yes.
If you know somebody has told me my problem is words. They hurt me a lot. Words hurt me a lot. Then you don't speak bad words to someone else. Don't talk to people anyhow. When you know you don't like, okay, let's just try and talk about some of the solution. I think I've already started going into it. We need character change. A change. Change begins with awareness. So that's why I said the first thing we need to talk about is for people to speak out. Speak out. Because your husband is beating you doesn't mean you are a failure. It's not your fault. You did not cause it. So don't hide in shame. There's nothing to be ashamed about. Because your wife slapped you doesn't make you less of a man. Unless you keep taking it, that's when you become a weakling. You can come out as a man and say, look, this is what I'm going through in my relationship, in my home, and find solution to it. So my first solution for you is speak out. What other solutions, sisters? Let's talk. What do you think? Solutions that people who are going through this can.
One is to have a mentor.
Okay.
Just like you are saying, it's part of speaking up. Someone you trust, someone that you will cough up your pain to.
Yeah.
And then you need someone who will be a mentor, someone who will sit you down with an abuser.
Yeah.
And then I think from there, if there are no changes, here in South Africa we have police.
That's all right. Sister Hannah,
Arrest him.
solution. Possible solutions.
Solutions. I don't know if I know some people might not be happy I'm coming through this way, but it works. Prayers. Prayers work.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
God can change the heart of anybody. He can touch the heart of a king.
Yes.
He can touch the heart of a slave.
Yes.
He can touch the heart of
I'm a
everybody.
witness.
So if you pray for that man, as ladies,
Yep.
as human beings,
And it's
always
difficult, eh?
pray for your
It's
very
difficult to pray for your abuser.
Ah.
When someone is abusing you, you feel
And you're
like
angry,
the
that's
only
fine.
kind of prayer you want to
For
pray
them to
is
die.
for that.
So I think prayer is very key. It's
Yeah.
very important. And sometimes we might actually try to talk about these things. You know, sometimes it's not just about the extreme. Let's just I beg, I can't do this anymore, let's divorce. No, let's talk about it. If you see that this person is actually not budging, then you have to get a mentor and talk about it. Because most times they tell you things like, when it's a family thing, try to
Keep it within your family.
within the family. But when you see that, like Nigerian
Beyond
people will
your
say,
control.
water don't pass Gary, you have to talk to somebody else. Very important.
Brother Solomon, solutions.
For me, some of the solutions come from parents first. Is like what you were saying, we know that in our conscience we know that it's bad. We have to teach our children to don't do what we did in our past sometime first. And if you are already a grown-up man or woman, you must work on yourself first before you get married. One of the fruit of the Holy Spirit is self-control.
Amen.
Because if you do not have the self-control, you will beat your wife. Sometimes she can say something, you don't like it. But because you have self-control, you
And women,
control
we
yourself.
have mouth, eh?
Yeah, you can speak. I grew up in I can say like kind of house. My father and my mother was fighting a lot. And my mother had anger. She was not speaking a lot. When the man will say something and she eats the thing to the man, and you know the husband is not, he's a man. An African man will not allow you to beat it, and the fight will start. And the problem was in both sides. And the man can have the control to control the woman as well. To walk away and come back to calm things around. And if you do not work on yourself, you will be a monster for other people. We have to work in
Work
ourselves.
on yourself. Work on your baggage.
Yes.
If you're coming from that kind of background, like Brother Solomon has just scientifically explained to us, in fact, that definition really, really blew me away now. To say that it's in your DNA. If your parents are doing it, then if you know you're coming from that kind of background, before you begin to fall in love with a girl and begin to talk of marriage or relationship, work on yourself. Get deliverance. I believe that God can change the blood. God can change the DNA. He can do it. Get deliverance. First of all, understand that it's a problem. It might not be happening now, but it's something that is already in your system. And one day, once a little thing triggers it, it will show up. So that will be some possible solution.
Yes, I want to just basically, before I go to the other one, I want to continue on working on yourself. Another way is, if you're able to pick up that I've got anger issue, right? Tell your partner. Like when you're still dating and all that, tell your partner that I've got anger issue. Right? And I'm not proud of it. I'm working on it, but it's not easy. Myself, I've got an anger issue. So let me talk about myself. I've got an anger issue, okay? But I'm not proud of it, and I'm working on it. If I already tell your partner, let your partner know that this is the situation, this is where I am, and I want to come out.
So they can help you.
Can you work with me? Can we work this journey together?
Yes.
You know, if your partner is aware that you've got anger issue, do you understand? You know,
So
like
try not to do things to trigger you.
exactly.
Yeah,
Don't try
right.
to push him into anger.
Yeah.
And when he's also getting there, try to calm him. Find tactics to calm him and let him know. Remember, baby? Remember you want to come out?
Yeah, that's it.
Don't. You know, if you know your partner has got anger issue, you're able to pick it up. Why do you have to answer when he's there? When he's already angry? Keep quiet. Keep quiet.
And
Allow
speak
it to
later.
pass and speak later, and you must talk about it. Also, self-introspection. Just tell you know, look at what is happening around. Sometimes you could also say, Mama, it's true. I know people will hate me for this thing. Sometimes women cause this. Yes. I know women out there, you might hate me, but sometimes we cause it. We
Okay.
push them.
We know what to say.
We push the men into this.
Put fuel in the fire.
So when we are seeing these problems are going far, before we even go outside, we sit, self-introspection. Okay, how am I being a cause in any way? First of all, start with you.
Exactly.
Am I pushing anything?
Am I pressing the
Or
button?
am I? If already you find that, okay, I'm the one who's maybe creating it, okay, start working on yourself.
I
If
know.
you feel like I am doing good, but he's the one, then
Excellent
look for a
example
mentor.
from what you're saying now. I know a lady who said to me, Mama, I think my mouth is too much. And I don't know how I'm going to control it. You know? She says to me that, look, my husband, he has anger issues. And once he's angry, I talk. If I say one word, that word sounds in my husband's ear like 200 words per second. So I want to learn how to shut up. So that's what Naomi is trying to say.
Yeah.
When you have come to the level of, I know I am now the problem. That's the awareness. I have a problem.
Yeah.
Admit it. It's a problem.
Yeah.
Don't justify it.
Yeah. And that's the problem, Mama. The
Don't
thing is,
defend it.
women justify themselves. They justify these things. And then, yes, a man has no right to beat a woman. No
No
rights.
right. No
You don't have a right.
justification, yes.
No, there is no excuse. Yes.
Yes.
That's but women now use this.
Yes.
Use it now and say, they will push someone will be like, what do you want to do? What
The line in Nigeria.
You know,
you must give it to them.
Things like that.
They
Like,
say,
seriously.
they say in countries where, you know, like she was saying, we have the police. That
Yeah,
women
I'll
use
call
it to
the-
threaten their husband.
Yes.
I'm going to call the police for you.
If you touch me, I'll call the
1, 2,
police.
3, I'll call the police for you. 1, 2, 3. Unfortunately, in the US, we now have a trail of men who are killing the women.
Yeah.
They want to kill them. They call the police themselves after killing the women, and then they go to jail.
They're
Oh.
tired.
Yes. Because these women will use the police to threaten them, take their properties, take everything from them, throw them out on the street.
Yeah.
You treat a man like that, you don't expect him to react back. He's a human being. Bro Solomon was talking about self-control. Yes, we pray for self-control for every one of us, but not everyone has it.
Yeah.
You should understand the threshold of your partner both ways. Because the woman too can have anger issues.
Yeah.
You should know when you have pushed the button to a point and say, okay, now I think it's going over the threshold. Let me shut up, or let me walk away.
Yeah.
You walk away not because you're stupid or because you don't know how to fight. You walk away so that you can live to quarrel another day. This quarrel thing is not one day. We have to quarrel. It's part of the sweetness of the marriage. Those who tell you, oh, me and my husband will be married for years, we have not quarreled, they are lying. It's not true. Oh. They are deceiving you. You are going to quarrel. It's a normal thing. You are two different people from two different backgrounds. You must have what Oyibo call misunderstanding. You miss the understanding of each other. But it doesn't have to become violent. It does not have to become a fight. We must understand each other's threshold at that point now when, okay, shut up.
Yeah.
Okay, walk out. Okay. In fact, one of my friends say, I begin to sing in my mind. Peace when trouble blows.
Sometimes just apologize. You know, sometimes just apologize.
Sorry.
Even if he's the one who's wrong, say, I'm sorry.
For the sake of peace. My younger sister will always say, for the sake of national peace. Sorry. Not that I'm wrong. Not that I've done anything bad.
Sometimes
but for the sake of national peace.
it can cause more problems.
And even
So you're saying sorry because you don't want to.
I'm coming to another part now, which I'll ask people as a question.
Okay.
A lady once said to me that she devised this method of walking away. So her husband has a bad temper. Not only to her alone. even to the children. He throws things at the children. He can pick a child and throw the child on the wall.
Okay.
That kind of bad temper. So she now started studying him. When he gets angry like that, and she starts walking away. You know, like she has places where she hides her key, her phone, you know, very close by where she can.